We have everyone here?
I believe we do.
All right, I would like to open the meeting with a motion.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, the meeting is the application of Guy Devereaux tax map number 104-1-54 located at 178 Continental Road, Tuxedo Park, New York, seeking relief from section 100-8 of the Village of Tuxedo Park zoning code in order to construct a deck where rear yard setback requirement is 50 feet and 31.5 feet is proposed. And who is going to present for the applicant?
Jake, I'm just going to introduce my architects, Rachel Thompson and Neil Young from Northworks.
Okay,
Hi there.
Hi there, everybody.
good. How are you?
Wonderful.
Good,
Thank you.
you.
Just wanted to see if everyone can hear me okay.
Hear you great.
Also, proof of John, but we have proof of mailings.
Yes, there were 16 notices sent out, and we have proof that 16 people received the mailings.
Okay, great. All right, present.
Perfect. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. I'll just start off by saying everyone's got the drawings, including the site plan that we had sent, I hope. We're seeking a variance for this deck based on the restrictive setbacks that seem like they've been in place after the house was constructed. As you have seen on the site plan that we had submitted, the setbacks cut through the existing structure at an extreme angle. That limits the ability for us to design a kind of a functional deck off of the rear of the home without impacting the current floor plan and also the character of the house itself. So where we're looking at proposing this new deck is in a similar location, the same location of a current deck. We're replacing, just to make it a little bit larger and more functional. The current deck has some extreme angles in it and is also non-compliant with the current zoning requirements. The deck itself is awkwardly designed with multiple tiers that create a kind of unusable spaces, but also present themselves as sort of a kind of a hazard for use of the Devereaux family. The new deck that we're proposing is designed as a single level to be much more attractive, logical, and user-friendly. Also designed within the kind of the aesthetics of current decks around this property in Tuxedo Park, and we're hoping to just match the architectural features of the park itself with the new deck. The current deck that's on the property now is not really in conformance with some of the aesthetics of the park itself, and is not within conformance just based on the setbacks that we're looking at.
Do you want to have your plan up on the, I guess probably just the site plan alone would probably be able to, your AO.1.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to.
John could give you use of the screen.
Yep, that'd be great.
Yes, you can do that.
So if everybody can see my screen here, I'm going to zoom in really close just so everyone can see the kind of the deck that we have currently, which is this dashed line following over here, and the new deck, which is more rectangular. And you can see the kind of the difference between the existing deck versus the proposed deck. The big difference is that really you're just extending the deck closer to the corner of the building to make to really for the aesthetics of the deck structure itself on the rear of the home. The current deck, as I said before, it's at multiple levels and it does not really conform with sort of the architectural style of Tuxedo Park. And I can also show you a couple images of the elevations of this new proposed deck structure, just to give everyone a sense of what the architectural intent is here. One of the issues that we're dealing with this deck is that the floor levels of this house there's kind of two floor levels. And so that's sort of constraining us to where we can place this deck. We couldn't place it on the left-hand side because it's at a lower level. It also would cover up this dining room bay. And so this is like the logical place for this deck to be located. We can go back to this, to that site plan. Everyone sort of can see, again, this is our side yard setback. And as you can see, it's cutting through the existing house at both the side and the front corner of the property. And that's part of the reason why I feel like this is an important necessary variance for this specifically. And then I'm also going to show you just an example of the same site plan we were just looking at, but this is with the current properties that are surrounding the Devereaux's residence, just so you can see what is actually looking at this deck. So from their neighbor to the north, there's actually a garage that's right near the property line that's shielding this property's view of the deck for the most part. And then another, the Swerble residence, which their view of the property is obstructed by most of the vegetation that's planted kind of between the two properties. So the view of this deck is really obstructed from any neighbor from most of the vegetation that's surrounding the property. So I'd love to answer any questions that anybody has.
Well, I guess Elisa, we should open the meeting to the public if the public is here at this point in time.
Yes, I would do that.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to open the meeting to the public.
So move.
Second.
Jay, can I make a couple of comments just quickly?
Sure.
I'd just also like to say that we have spoken to those neighbors to the north, Mr. Greenbaum and his partner, and we showed them all the plans, and they were very positive and had no objections to that. And we are going to collaborate together on, increasing the screening between our two properties, which is not great at the moment and needs to be improved. And we're happy to collaborate on that together. So again, very positive from our neighbors.
Okay. Is there anyone from the public who would like to make a comment that's out there that I don't see on the screen here? I see Meg, but she's just taking notes. All right. Elise, if we have no comment from the public, I guess we close the public meeting.
Yeah, I mean, we're only 8 minutes into the meeting. Why don't we have some board discussion in case a member of the public is perhaps late joining?
Okay.
Another 5 minutes or so. And then if still no one has any comments, then yes, I think it would be appropriate to close the meeting.
Okay, as you know, obviously, I think the elimination of the two-tiered deck to the one singular deck is certainly, architecturally pleasing. I would look positive towards this project.
So John, of the mailings, was there any response, good, bad, indifferent, from anybody you sent the letters to?
No, we received
Okay.
no negative comments,
Yeah.
nor have we received any positive comments.
When I looked at it, I noticed really the views that the neighbors have are, let's call them seasonal views. And when, so it's just, that this part of the year would be the only time they can really get a good view of what's going on. So yeah, I mean, I'm favorable to the project as well.
Yeah, and I noted that they really weren't extending the deck any further away from the house. They were just more extending it to the side, which because of the angle of the property line caused the variance to increase, rather than they're extending the deck further out into the yard.
That's correct.
James?
Sorry.
Yes?
Can anybody hear me? Did I have my
Yes.
hand up? Don't you think it'd be nice if the neighbors would have written a letter so it could be in the file? Or is it somehow in the file?
Mr. Chairman, I can answer that.
Okay,
So generally, if there is no comment, that in and of itself is noted in the record. Like, so there weren't any objections. That's really what's important. If there were objections or letters in favor, the board would, of course, consider that.
Mhm. Okay.
now Elise, also too, since the existing is non-conforming, we need to address that also, correct?
I think you can note it for the record, but if you decide to grant this variance, that's really all you need to do. Does that answer your question?
So we would just need to note it for the record.
Yeah, so for example, you have noted it. I would make a note of it in any resolutions that this is pre-existing non-conforming. So there's, you're making it a little more non-conforming, but you're not building a whole new deck on the back.
I thought it was a whole new deck.
Well, what I'm saying is the footprint, there's already an existing deck there, so you're not adding a deck to a no build situation. You see what I'm saying there?
Right, you're taking down a deck and reconstructing another
Yeah,
deck.
the existing deck is in very poor condition. We've done some patches on it over the years to make sure it's safe. But there would be no benefit to trying to resurrect the existing deck. We do propose on taking that deck down and starting again, yes.
And the square footage of the proposed deck is within the code in terms of compared to the footprint of the house. It's within the percentage allowed.
That is correct.
The allowable is 750 square feet. The proposed deck will be 661.
So, Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
I think you can ask if anyone from the public has joined or wish to speak. And if not, then close the public hearing and quickly go through the criteria for variances.
If there is no one else in the public to speak at this point in time, I will then now make a motion to close the public hearing.
So move.
Second.
Okay. Additional board discussion?
So it appears to me that they're taking a non-conforming situation and making it better. So I mean, it looks like a good project to me.
I can't disagree with you at all.
I agree
Nancy?
as well.
I'm all right.
Okay.
Unusual.
All right, then I guess we're kind of to the point where we just need to go through the 5 factors. Whether this is an undesirable change, which would be a detriment to the nearby properties. Obviously, it is not, in that they're reconstructing a deck that in a grander fashion and a more desirable fashion. Whether the benefit is sought by the applicant can be achieved by some other method. I mean, it could be, but I think this is the most aesthetically pleasing method to achieve this.
Mr. Chairman, I would also note for the record that sort of the positioning of the house on the lot really constrains the property owners to build a deck in the back without somehow needing a variance. So
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously from the drawing showing where the setback is, there really is no other place but to put the deck but where they're putting it. Whether the requested area of variance is substantial, I would not consider it to be substantial. Whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions of the neighborhood or district, I don't see whether that would not have any adverse effect. And the last, whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the Board of Appeals, but should not necessarily preclude the granting of the area of variance. Yes, it is self-created, but it really does not come into effect with us granting that variance. Any other comments?
No.
I think as a board, I think we are ready to vote. I'd like to make a motion to approve the Devereaux variance for the setback of 50 feet and a 31.5 feet proposed.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. All right, we got all five today.
I'm sorry, who seconded it? Was that Member Boyle? or-
Dave.
Dave, okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to,
To the
I
minutes?
also, we have minutes to the meeting to approve. So Elise, do I need to close this meeting to open another meeting to approve the minutes?
No, you do not.
I'd like to, did everyone have a chance to review the minutes from March 2nd?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Jake,
Yes.
two comments on the minutes. One on page 3, it talks about removal of tees rather than trees, and I wouldn't want anyone if they're building a golf course there. So we should just put that a T. And then on page 5, it said the vote was 4-0.
Yes, I
and
correct.
believe the
Yeah,
vote was
I did
4-1.
correct that.
We corrected that.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yeah, that was corrected.
okay.
Okay, with those corrections, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes to the meeting.
Second.
Oh,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Then I would like to make a motion to close the meeting.
Oh,
Second.
Dad, you're going to a wonderful place and we're sitting up here in the cold.
Well, I have a dinner reservations too.
All
All
right.
right, good night, everyone.
Thank you
Good
very
night,
much
everyone.
for your time.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Okay.